Once upon a time, in a small town in Pakistan, there lived a young man named Wajid. Wajid was born into a humble family. His father worked on farms, earning just enough to keep food on the table. But even in those tough days, his father had one dream: that his son would grow up, work hard, and build a better life. Wajid grew up hearing those words every single day. He wasn't rich, he didn't have powerful connections, but he had determination. He wanted to make something of his life, not just for himself, but for his family. Years passed, and after finishing his education, Wajid looked around and realized how hard life in his hometown really was. There were no good jobs, no future, just endless struggle. He wanted more. So one night, sitting under the dim light of a small lamp, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He would go abroad. He started applying for jobs in foreign countries, and after months of trying, one offer came through: a labor work visa for the United Kingdom. It wasn't his dream job, but it was a chance, a door to a new life. Wajid sold almost everything he had. He borrowed money from relatives. He put everything on the line: his savings, his hopes, his faith. And finally, the day came when he held that visa in his hands. He looked at it and whispered to himself, "This is it. I'm going to make it count." When Wajid landed in London, everything felt new and overwhelming. The air was cold, the people were strangers, and the streets moved fast, nothing like back home. The construction company that hired him gave him a small shared room to stay in. It wasn't comfortable, but it was a roof over his head, and that was enough. The next morning, his first workday began. The supervisor handed him a shovel and pointed toward the construction site. The work was heavy, carrying bricks, mixing cement, loading trucks. Every single task tested his strength. By the end of the day, his hands were bleeding, his back ached, and his body screamed for rest. That night, Wajid looked at his hands covered in blisters. For a moment, he thought, maybe I can't do this. But then he remembered his father's words: real men never quit when life gets hard. And with that thought, Wajid smiled faintly and whispered, "I'll keep going." Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Every morning before sunrise, he'd wake up, eat a small piece of bread, and head to work. He worked in the cold, in the rain, and under the burning sun, but never complained. Slowly, he began to earn the respect of his coworkers. They saw that he was different, not the strongest man, but the most determined. One evening, as Wajid sat outside the construction site, watching cranes move heavy loads, an idea came to his mind. If I could learn how to operate those machines, maybe I could have a better job. That night, he made a new goal. He would learn crane driving. It wasn't easy. During the day, he worked as a laborer. At night, he went to a small training center to learn how to operate cranes. He barely slept, often eating nothing but instant noodles and tea, but still, he pushed forward. After months of hard work, Wajid took his first crane driving test, and he failed. He felt defeated, but not broken. He tried again a month later, and failed once more. But he didn't give up. Every failure became a lesson. He practiced longer, studied harder, asked questions, and learned from every mistake. And finally, after one full year of trying, he passed. When the examiner said, "Congratulations, you've passed," Wajid's eyes filled with tears. He looked at his certificate and smiled, whispering, "This is just the beginning." Wajid started working as a crane operator. His salary increased, and for the first time in years, he could send good money back home to his family. He worked with discipline, respect, and passion. The company trusted him with more responsibilities, and soon he became one of their best employees. But Wajid wasn't done dreaming. He wanted to build something of his own, something that carried his name. He started saving every pound he could. He didn't waste money on luxuries. While others spent their weekends partying, Wajid spent his nights planning and learning. After 2 years, his visa was about to expire. He renewed it, left his old company, and joined another construction firm that gave him even more experience and exposure. He learned how the industry worked, from suppliers to logistics, from hiring to handling clients. Every day was a new lesson. Then one day, after years of saving and planning, he made the boldest decision of his life. He bought his own crane. It was a huge risk. But when he saw that machine with his name on it, he felt a surge of pride. It wasn't just a crane. It was a symbol of everything he had fought for. From there, Wajid's journey only went upward. He worked tirelessly, taking small contracts, sometimes even driving the crane himself. As his reputation grew, clients began trusting him. He bought a second machine, then a third. And after a few more years, he registered his own company, Wajid Corporation. Wajid Corporation became one of the fastest-growing construction firms in London. He didn't just hire workers, he built a family. He treated every employee with the same respect he once wished for when he was a laborer. He provided housing, fair pay, and safety, things he once struggled for. One evening, standing on a high-rise building his company had just completed, Wajid looked over the glittering London skyline. He remembered his first day in the UK, his bleeding hands, his sleepless nights, and his father's dream. He took a deep breath, smiled, and whispered, "I did it, Dad." Wajid's story reminds us that nothing is impossible when you refuse to give up. He came to a foreign land with empty pockets but a heart full of hope. He turned pain into power, failures into lessons, and dreams into reality. Life didn't give him shortcuts, it gave him challenges. But he turned every challenge into a stepping stone toward success. So remember this, no matter how tough life gets, no matter how impossible your dreams may seem, keep going. Because one day, your story could inspire the world, just like Wajid's did.